All right, so here we're going to do some basic factoring and do the special factors. So here we're looking for the GCF, and basically that's the greatest common factor. So we're looking for the greatest common factor between these, and 21 divides evenly into 189, so 21 will be our number. And when we're looking at our exponents, we're looking for the lowest degree on the greatest common because they have to have them in common. So this will get me x to the fourth, and that's all you need to do. It will not always be one whole term, but sometimes it'll work out that way. The next thing we're going to do is start factoring completely. So on this term here, we're looking to factor out what they have in common. So again, if our small number divides into our bigger number, we're going to use that. So that'll be 6. They both don't have an x, so I can't pull anything else. 24 divided by 6 is 4 with my x, and negative 6 divided by 6 will get me negative 1. When we look at this one, even though it has 3 terms, we're also looking to see if our smaller number goes into our bigger numbers, and 8 does divide into 16. So that's going to leave us with an 8 as a factor. They both don't have x and they both don't have y, so it'll only be 8. 16 divided by 8 is 2 with our x. 8 divided by 8 is 1 with my y. And negative 8 divided by 8 will get me negative 1. And that's all you got to do. The next thing we're looking at is factoring by grouping. We have 4 terms here, and we want to split them kind of like Spock does into 2 groups of 2. So between 4x and 24 will be in one group, and our xy plus 6y will be the other group. We can factor out 4 goes into 24, so we can factor out a 4, but they do not both have an x. So that'll leave us with x plus 24 divided by 4 is 6. Bring down our plus sign. Over here we have in common just a y. And that'll leave us with x plus 6 also over there when we do our division. Now we did it correctly if these two match in the parentheses. So this will get us x plus 6 factored out, and that leaves us with 4 plus y. And that's all you have to do on the factor by grouping. The next thing we're looking at is the difference of squares. So the difference of squares means we have 2 terms with a difference between them, so it's a minus sign, and these are both perfect squares, which means we have something times itself. So we're going to end up factoring this with 2 sets of parentheses. So we have a plus and a minus, and this will be what times itself gets us x squared? Well, that'll be x times x. And 11 times 11 will get us 121. You can use the square root on a calculator to find out what that is. Take square root of each perfect square. Now over here we have 64x squared minus 9. So 2 perfect squares again with a minus sign. So again, and it doesn't matter. You can put the minus sign first if you want. Minus and then plus. 64 is 8 times 8. And x squared again will be x times x. So I have an 8x on both the front parts. And then 3 times 3 will get me 9. And so that just pops in. Difference of squares. Really good one to know. This last part is going to be the sum and difference of cubes. So these have a formula to factor with, and we need to know what our a and our b are. So basically you need to know what times itself 3 times gets you x cubed, and what times itself gets 3 times will get you 8. So the x cubed will be easy enough because it's going to be x times x times x. And this one is a small number, so we can figure out it's going to be 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. So we know it'll be 2, but there is a way to do it on your calculator. What you can do is just pop in your 8 and raise it to the 1 divided by 3 power, and that'll tell you it's 2. If you had 27, you could do the same thing. So 1 divided by 3 power would tell you it's 3. And something like 216 raised to the 1 divided by 3 power will get you 6. So that's a way to find it very quickly rather than doing a bunch of multiplication. So this is going to just plug into our formulas here. You're going to pick one for each one. You're going to start with the same. This is same, opposite, always positive. So this has the same sign. So we're just going to plug it in. So A is x, B is 2, so x minus 2. A squared will get me x squared. AB is A times B, so 2 times x. And b squared is 2 times 2, so that'll get me 4. Then we're going to come over and do this one that is the plus one, the plus version, which is going to use the top formula. Because they're the same values, we're still going to have a is equal to x and b is equal to 2. But this time we'll have x plus 2 times x squared minus 2x plus 2 squared, which will be 4. It has the same sign, the opposite, and the always positive. So those are some of your special factors and also factors by grouping.